The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views of ECTV News, the City of East Chicago, nor this broadcast station or website. ECTV airs public meetings as a service to the community it serves. Speakers at public meetings, broadcast, or posted by ECTV News are solely responsible for their comments. ECTV News reserves the right to edit or remove any profanity or abusive language or behavior deemed inappropriate for our viewing audience. If you have any comments or suggestions about this program, contact ECTV News at 219-391-8206.
Good evening and welcome to the regular scheduled council meeting for Monday, January 25th, 2016. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Santos, roll call attendance, please.
Maldonado.
Present.
Franciski.
Present.
Battle. Vasquez.
Present.
Garcia.
Present.
Orange.
Present.
Medina.
Here.
Monroe.
Present.
Parks.
Present. Chair will now accept the motion to approve the minutes for regular meeting January 11, 2016.
So moved.
Second, Mr. President.
Motion made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilman Garcia. Any questions on the motion? Clerk Santos, roll call.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes. Motion passes. Clerk Santos, any communications from the mayor?
No.
Any communications from department heads?
Yes. Accounts payable warrant 123115CC.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second. Motion made by Councilwoman Vasquez, second by Councilman Franciski to approve accounts payable warrant 123115CC. Any questions? Councilman Garcia.
Is anybody here to talk about this, Mr. President? I got some questions. I see that we got local share on here. Then we also have telephones on here. Can you explain that?
Which, are you looking at the one he just read out?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
off the top of my head, the reason we get the warrants out to the council, and, by Wednesday, we have to send everything out, is so if you find something, you let us know, we could bring where it works on these accounts here. Because we have so many, I don't know, looking at them just individually, I wouldn't be able to tell.
All right. We don't get our packets on Wednesday. We get them on Thursday
I know.
afternoon.
That's if you recall, before you would get them on the day before, so they start putting out the packets. The council requested they get them, everything done by Thursday. So we get everything out by Thursday.
Yeah, I just want to make a point, and Val, is that there's so many things on these claims that that is crazy for us to try to make a vote on this. A lot of this stuff that's in here, and making judgment on it and vote on it. So. But I'll bring some up in new business so we could talk about this.
Okay, because we could look up the individual claim, we could put out what exactly it's paid out for, and we have the different girls work on different accounts in the section. I could have the person who works on that account, we could bring the paperwork from the beginning to all the way through. Like you say, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, and I think just us getting our stuff Thursday doesn't leave enough time, even for your staff, to do it Friday.
Well, a lot of times we barely get it done just to get it for Thursday,
Right. So we'll probably discuss that and maybe change those dates in the future or something.
Yeah, unless you want to have something like a workshop on Monday to go over things, I could bring the entire staff, and you go over particular things. Because
Well, I'll make some notes of what I have here, and then I'll let you know after the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, Val. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Clerk Santos, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
No?
Orange,
Yes.
Medina,
Abstain.
Monroe,
No.
Parks,
Yes. Motion passes. Any other communication from department heads?
yes. Accounts payable warrant 1, or should I say accounts payable warrant 010816CC.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second, Mr. President.
Motion made by Councilman Franceschi, second by Councilman Garcia to approve accounts payable warrant 010816CC. Any questions on the motion? Clerk Santos, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes?
Orange,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Parks.
Yes, motion passes.
Accounts payable warrant 011316CC.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Garcia, second by Councilwoman Orange to approve accounts payable warrant 011316CC. Any questions on the motion? Clerk Santos, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Parks.
Yes. Motion passes.
Accounts payable warrant 012516CC.
So moved, Mr. President?
Second. Motion made by Councilwoman Vasquez, second by Councilman Franceschi to approve accounts payable warrant 012516CC. Any questions on the motion?
Mr. President, yeah.
Councilman Garcia.
Val? This is basically the same thing with the other warrant, but I see you got U.S. Bank Corporation, we got over $1 million going there, and then we have some other things that's pretty large too, AT&T, CDW, then Comcast. What were we paying Comcast for, you know?
I think I could bring Kevin from IT here, because we have a lot of lines, even on the police department, even out of IT. So there's different things. So I don't know specifically. So if I knew which, like I said before, which line item, we could just call it up on the computer and get all the information. So
With some of these amounts here, because I see like Hernandez Electric, one that's $17,926, and another one $42,772. Those are pretty large amounts. Look like they're pretty large jobs. Are those bidded out?
yeah, everything's bid out. We passed the purchase policy for the city in December, and actually it follows all the IC codes. So, in the Board of Works, when they take an action on anything, we follow the new purchase policy. I don't know if you recall before, the purchase policy was just made up of a bunch of random memorandums. We put it all together per the State Board of Accounts. We actually followed example from Highland and Munsters, and it's basically just the state codes. And it tells you the procedures on how you bid for different amounts and what's required. I think even your financial advisor, they reviewed it in the December meeting. So every board is required to follow that now. So it wasn't like before where it was random, and so.
Can you give me a copy of that also, Val?
Okay, I think it was. I could get it. We have it electronically, so we can send it to you.
I see like with Bennett and Associates, Nella Grady on here. Also, is this for the contract or?
Every year we have the contractuals. We do the contractuals. So I believe last year at the beginning of the at the council. I think they called people who had contracts here. I think they did like you're doing right now. They asked people about their contracts and whatever. So
I see one here, Mutual of Omaha. That seems odd to me.
well, we have insurance. Matter of fact, today we had a meeting with insurance. Every year we have a broker who checks for insurance rates for the buildings, for different things. So, and matter of fact, a lot of these things are going to be up in March, and so we're redoing them. But, I hate to say it, but unless I don't know them all, I'd have to get, where it works on this account. And, for example, we have Yvette works on the NIPSCO things and different accounts. So
Can you tell me what's Tobert and Tobert? Is that a law office?
it's a law firm.
It's a law office, okay.
And I think they're the redevelopment attorneys. I believe they work on redevelopment, and they also work on side contracts assisting the law department.
Well, I'll give you those lists after we speak after today. Let me see. Vermilion Systems is 270.
Vermilion, that's a system that's doing all the cameras now, the security cameras around the city.
Mhm.
We have a camera project going. It's going on different phases. We already completed the police department. We redid that. We're redoing City Hall, Annex Building, the parks, and strategic locations around the city. It's not for traffic tickets, more for security in different areas.
And this is to put them up for the cameras?
That's for the software, it's for putting up the cameras. That's being run by IT and the police department.
Is that under their budget or no?
Pardon me?
Is that under their budget for the PD?
No, it's under Board of Works contractual. Well, it's the funding that comes from different things.
Thank you, Val, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Clerk Santos, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
No.
Orange,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Abstain.
Parks.
Yes, motion passes.
Payroll warrant 011516.
So move, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Garcia, second by Councilwoman Maldonado to approve payroll warrant 011516. Any questions on the motion? Clerk Santos, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Parks.
Yes, motion passes.
Attorney Stephen Bauer, employment contract.
Mr. President, I make a motion to retain Steve Bauer as our council attorney. He's done a good job for us in the last 4 years. He's answered all of our questions, emails. He sends us emails, letters. We've taken him into battle when we've been in the mayor's office, and he's been what we needed to make sure this council moved forward and not stuck in the past. So I would make a motion to retain him as our attorney.
I second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Orange, second by Councilman Franceschi to retain Attorney Steve Bauer. Any questions on the motion?
I have a question.
Councilman Monroe?
To vote for or not, I have a problem because I don't know Mr. Bauer, and if he's going to represent us, it should have been Olive Branch or something to talk with us and let me know what you're about. And I mean, that's just courtesy of it. So I don't know. I'm new, so I would like to know him a little better before I vote yes or no.
Any other questions, comments? Mr. Bauer, if you would, step to the podium.
Stephen Bauer.
Mr. Bauer, could you just give us a brief summary of what you've done for this council over the years? I know it won't satisfy the total need of what Councilman Monroe was speaking of.
You know, quite frankly, I would think that the major assistance that I've given this council is the encouragement of committee meetings and in the workshops, because that's enabled the members to have a better understanding of what was going on. And especially 4 years ago, when we had 3 new members come on who had not had any governmental experience, the use of workshops and in committee meetings were of great help to them, because it gave them the opportunity to ask questions, to debate back and forth, and to get a feel of what's going on. In your current situation, you've got 2 members coming back on who have had a lot of experience with the city. But over the last 4 years, there's been a tremendous amount of change in the finances of the city and the way that the city is functioned and operated. And so even with their background, they'll need to come up to speed. The other thing I've been appreciative of the council is the willingness to allow communications with email, and that I've always tried to be available if an emergency comes up. Lenny has been president for the last couple of years. Gilder was president one of the years. And I think that they, can attest, and you know this, I've always been available and responsive to when there's been needs. The other thing is, I like to keep the entire council aware of what's going on. And recently, a couple of days ago, you got a joint email from me at the request of Judah, bringing you up to date, on a matter that's presently before the council in a way. And I, pledge to continue to do that. I'm, in a sense, an outsider because I don't live in East Chicago, although I know some of the people in the city. I have no vested interest, and I have no personal agenda other than to try to help the council make the best informed decisions that they can, and to give you up-to-date information as to what's happening on the state level, what's happening legally that can impact what what you're doing. One of my efforts has always been to try to give information, sufficient information to the council to avoid getting into trouble. And maybe a better phrase, a more appropriate phrase would be not to make a real bad mistake. For first-time council members, it is always difficult when you're confronted with a specific problem within the community to want to make a major policy change or a policy decision to address an individual problems. You always want to step back from that, and I think I can help you do that, to step back and look at what the long-term impact of those decisions are going to be. You may solve a current individual problem, but you may create larger problems down the road. Another area, and I was just looking at Christine, the tax abatement issues. For example, we held a number of committee meetings on that, and over the last 4 years, 5 years, there have been 3 or 4 major questions, difficulties there. This is also another area in which policy considerations by the council are good, and that's directly within your responsibility. And I'm simply here to alert you to that. And Steve Dalton of Cinder and Company and I, there are various things that you can do, and it's always been my goal to try to give you as much information as possible so that when you make a decision, it's informed.
Any other? Councilwoman Vasquez?
I just want to add that after working with Mr. Bauer on the Tax Abatement Committee, and when you were introduced to me, I didn't know who you were either, and but the way you took on this council with the new members, that when I was a new member at that time, having a workshop and giving us, information we needed, on how to, be productive on this council. And I will attest to the fact that you are always available, even on Saturdays and Sundays, even whether it's through, telephone or through emails. And even when something, situations arise downstate, you always email us and let us know things that we should be aware of. So I can just say that, your services to this council have been exceptional.
I appreciate that.
Any other questions, comments? Clerk Santos, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
No.
Orange,
Yes.
Medina,
No.
Monroe,
No.
Parks.
Yes, motion passes. Any other communications?
Sender and Company Service Agreement.
So moved.
Second, Mr. President.
Motion made by Councilman Franciski, second by Councilman Garcia to approve Sender and Company Service Agreement. Any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia.
One thing I want to say about Sender Company. When I was on the council last time, they were there. They answered all of my questions. And when I came off the council, and they were representing the council then, and I sat out there in the audience, they're a very good company. They're forthcoming. Any questions you ask them, they're always there to respond, and always been happy with them. And I'm glad for them to still be here to represent this council. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Just a short
Councilwoman
comment.
Vasquez.
Just a short comment with Sender and Company, also with Carl and with Steve. They've gone above and beyond to explain the tax abatement, discussions we've had with big companies here in the city. So I can tell you also that they've been exceptional to this council and have helped us. And they also are available. Steve will always answer his calls and bring even more information that I could ever have time to read, but he's been exceptionally helpful. So I thank you for that.
Any other questions, comments? Councilwoman Orange.
I guess I could chime in. I know that me and Councilman Garcia may not always agree, but we do agree on that the fact that Sender and Company has been a great gift to this city, because without them, we would have been blind as far as the finances of what was going on. I mean, it took a tough decision to bring you here, but we've kept you, and I know through the finance thing, we were right there. You were right there with me hours and hours. And in fact, the finance committee spent a lot of time, and we didn't have any of the administration in. It was just us and the department heads and whoever we called in, which was different. It has been a good lesson, and we've learned a lot from you, and we appreciate you being here.
Any other questions? Clerk Santos, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Absolutely.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Abstain.
Parks.
Yes, motion passes. We don't have any committee reports, although, council members, you did receive your committee assignments today. The first name designates the chair. If you can, before the end of the week, at least touch base with your other committee members, even if it's just by phone. Do you have any board reports? I'm sorry, Councilwoman Orange?
Tomorrow we do have a meeting. It was standing committee from before about the parking stickers.
Okay.
If any of the new council members want to come, we always advertise for anybody to be able to come. It used to be just 3 people, but now we advertise for anybody to come. And it's just a thought moving forward, trying to figure out about the parking situation and who's actually in the city. And we get so many complaints, and I know you guys probably have already started getting them from the Chicago plates and all that. So that's what we're trying to look into. It may not be the absolute fix as far as a parking sticker, but it may be the answer to be able to, at least for the police to ticket who shouldn't be here. So that's going to be tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Here in council chambers?
In the council chambers, yes.
Okay. We don't have any board reports, but I would like to mention that from this point on, we will take board reports at the second meeting of each month. I'm sorry, do you guys have? Okay. Step forward, please. We do have some board reports.
Good evening, President Parks, and congratulations, and Common Council. The Chicago Police Merit Commission had their elections on January 7th, 2016. President is Henry Rodriguez, Vice President Richard Peterson, Secretary Wanda Gordiels. We have expired the new police applicant eligibility list. We reopened the hiring process on November 25th, 2015, and it will close on January 29th, 2016. On January 23rd, 2016, there was a class for new police applicants at the police department to inform and help with the agility testing, and that was this weekend, this Saturday at 9 o'clock. There will be a workshop. I also wanted to let the council know that the commission did put out over 200 flyers throughout the city to see if we can get our citizens to be part and apply for the police department. We are having a workshop on February 6th at 10 o'clock, and that is going to be addressed by Dr. Ferrandino, who will go over questions that may be on the written test to help our applicants that are applying for the police department. The testing process will be February 20th, 2016 at the police department at 9 o'clock. And at this time, there are currently 15 to 17 new police applicants. Okay, I would also like to thank the Common Council because my term will be up, and I have resubmitted my application and a letter to our past president, Franceschi, and I would appreciate if I could be considered for reappointment. I thank everyone.
Councilman Garcia?
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for that report. The applications are due the 29th.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Applications, yes.
They're due the
January
29th. And then there's the information.
There will be a workshop on February 6th.
At what time?
For the new applicants to help them through the written process of the test. There will be similar questions, not the questions that will be on them, but to help our citizens here that applied for the police department.
At what time?
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Okay. And then on the 20th is the testing?
Yes.
Just in the future, if 200 flyers, that's an okay job. If you need we need help, we got this whole council, and we could distribute flyers for all these residents in our district. So yeah, feel free to, if that happens again, give me 1,000 flyers.
Okay. We also had a database, and I also did put out that through email. Okay, for those that I did have emails for, so it was thoroughly infiltrated through the city for our citizens here in Chicago. I know it had always been a problem that our citizens were not applying. Okay? Any questions?
Any other questions? Thank you, Ms. Gordiels.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Henry Rodriguez, East Chicago appointee to the East Chicago Waterway Management District. At the last meeting, I had told you that there would be information forthcoming this month on concerning some possible dredging or capping, if the dredging is necessary, in other parts of the waterways in East Chicago, the canal, Grand Calumet river and stuff like that, because right now all the dredging that's being done right now concerning us is in the Ship Canal over there by CDF north of here, and we're looking for plans to go ahead and dredge in other parts of the city, and if it doesn't need dredging, maybe capping. And something happened. I guess the guy who was supposed to put the port together, we were told, had knee surgery, so we're not looking for anything until February 12th. They said the port might be in. But as you know, I mentioned the last time that we have no dredging going on now. The contract for the new company or whoever's going to do the dredging is going out. And then in April it's going to be awarded, so about that time shortly thereafter they're going to start dredging again. But if we do any dredging in any part of the waterway here in East Chicago, other than the canal right now they're doing now, all that material is going to go to it's going to go out of county. There are EPA certified landfills that any other dredging other than what's going in the dump site now is going to go out of county. I think they said down in Newton County. Now for you new ones here, I do have a website where you can actually get any information that you want about the East Chicago Waterway Management District, the dump site. You go to www.in.gov./ECWMD/. Okay, if you didn't get it that time, I can catch you after the meeting, but if you go on there, you will find out everything you just about need to know about that dump site. The readings that they have during the dredging, they have air monitors around the dump site for them. You can go on that site and see real time, like even right now, if there are any particulates or whatever coming off the dump site, which probably nothing now since it's not doing any dredging. And the dredging material in the landfill is covered with water. But anything you want to know is on their website. But I hope they have more information next month.
Councilman Garcia?
Yeah, and you said if they can't dredge, they're going to cap. What they mean by capping?
Well, we're just going to put material on there, 2 feet of certain material, so they don't, it's a money thing too, because they don't have Army Corps of Engineers, and the rest don't have tons of money. It's whatever they can come up with. But the other dredging that we're going to be doing, that's money we got to try to find. We go to different grants, we go around to the governments, to whomever we can find the money. And it's cost effective too, because if it's down a certain depth, then they won't mess with it, just cap it. Usually it's good for years. You don't have to worry about any hazardous material that might be found down there. You don't have to worry about it rising to the top or polluting the rest of the waterways.
I thought they wanted to do a navigational, they wanted to get some of that.
See, that's for that canal. Mm-hmm. That's navigational. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's concerning the federal government. The canal that they're doing, the dredging, the shipping canal. That's navigational. We're just trying to do it down to where, because we're trying to get plans together to possibly do some recreational, maybe get some companies to come in and maybe set something up, kayaking, canoeing, something, whatever, fishing. So we're not, because of the money's not really there, we're just going to do what we can to make it safe as possible.
Did they say what they're going to cap it with, or they haven't come up with that?
There's several materials. There's several different types of materials they could use,
When's the next meeting? When's the next meeting?
It's always been the third Wednesday of the month.
And the next question I got, why is that other material going out of the county? Because they built that as one of the biggest CDFs in the whole country. And
because by law, only what comes out of the canal to the north of us goes in there. Okay. That's all.
And my last question is, and I don't know if Army Corps of Engineers did it or not, with reference the monitors, I know some of that stuff used to come up as high levels, but they used to not notify nobody. Have they changed their policy as at least notifying the city, so we know in case there's any health effects for the residents?
Well, whenever there's a high reading on their monitor to where they take action, everything stops. Nothing moves. They find out what caused it, then they take whatever action is necessary. Like I said, we go on that site and you look at the monitoring site, because there's hundreds of sites, hundreds of leaks on there you can go to. And they'll tell you there what they will do if something happens. Now, as far as notifying the city, from what I can tell in the last 4 years, there's never been an incident where they had to notify the city to let them know that there's a danger. Because on the site it will tell you sometimes a alert will be because environmental, bugs, whatever, they can land in there and then it sets it off. So just because you get some kind of reading on your chart doesn't mean it's actually particulates.
Yeah, because my experience in the past, they had some high readings at the high school, but the thing is, it's always been after the fact, so their reporting hasn't changed then.
Okay, you said your experience in the past? Mm-hmm. What do you mean when?
In the past, when they had on the dredging, you know.
I couldn't tell you anything about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I know they have. Apparently, the Army Corps hasn't changed the way they're monitoring. No. So, but I want to thank you.
All right. Just want to let you know too that I'm going to be putting my paperwork in also to get hopefully reappointed by the council to continue this work here. I know I sit on another board. Wanda Gradillo just mentioned that I sit on a merit board, but the Waterway Management District Board, as you know, is a non-paying board. So I can sit on 2 boards because it's non-paying. So I would appreciate the council's consideration and being reappointed back to the Waterway Management District.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Clerk Santos, any ordinances on first reading?
No, Mr. President.
Any ordinances on second reading?
Nope.
Any ordinances on third reading?
Absolutely none.
Any resolutions?
No.
We will now move into new business. Councilwoman Orange.
Clerk Santos, can you send a letter to Genesee Bishop? She's a sophomore at Central High School. They honored her last week. She hit 1,000 points, and she's a sophomore. She's also on the honor roll, and I just think that she should be acknowledged from this council. We always talk about kids when they're doing something wrong, and this is a good thing. So I would like for her to have a letter from the council.
Councilwoman Orange, would you object to the entire council? Or you
no,
just
I would like that. I think she would like that too.
Would you like Mr. President, would you like a signature page?
Yes, please.
So we'll be calling you all, stop in our office to sign it.
Any other new business? Councilman Garcia.
Yes, Mr. President. I don't know who this request to go to. Just asking for a list of all boards, its members, and when their appointments are up. I don't know who would that go to, Mr.
That will go to the clerk's office.
Clerk Santos. And then also, probably this next questions I have is for Mr. Gomez. I'd like a list of all the consultants for the whole city.
All the what?
Consultants for the city.
The songs?
Consultants.
Oh, consultants.
Consultants for the whole city, for every department. I'd like to also have the police chief contract, Allegretti's contract, and Bennett's contract.
So basically all contracts.
All contractors and consultants. And also for the last, for 2015 only, for what Allegretti and Bennett, I'd like to know what they made in 2015. And Val, I know we have some new members on this board. Maybe if you could plan in the future do a workshop for the 2016 budget for the new councilmen, I know I would appreciate it.
I think we do that, don't we? Don't we have a workshop for the budget?
Yes.
Already? That's been going on for years, so.
I just got on. I haven't had one yet.
Even when you were on.
Yeah.
I remember you used to come when I was fire chief.
Yeah, Val, I just got on, Val. That's what I'm saying. I just like to have one now, Val.
Okay. I'm saying that's a function of the council. You set up the workshop and you let us know when we show up. In fact, I think they have it in my office.
If I could interject, who's the chairperson of the Finance Committee? Councilman Orange, perhaps you could call a workshop of the Finance Committee and whoever else wanted to come. We could go over the 16 budget, especially for the new members, the one that we're in right now, way before we get to the 17. So we can get everybody oriented to the 16 budget that was already passed.
Correct. And also for the gaming budget for 2016, I like. That's it, Mr. President.
Okay. Any other new business?
Mr. President.
Councilman Monroe.
On behalf of Indiana Black Expert Lake Shore, and you know they're having problems in Flint, Michigan. That chapter is trying to collect water to take down there. The deadline for the water is January 29th. The times at Martin Luther King is from 1 to 6, and they're going to take it down there on that Monday. So we just want to help out, and the Indiana Black Expo Lake Shore is asking for everyone's help to spread a little help up in Michigan and Flint. Thank you.
Any other new business? We'll move into old business. No old business, so now we'll move into public expression. Do we have any cards, Clerk Santos?
No.
With no cards, the chair will now take a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. President.
Motion made by Councilman Garcia, second by Councilwoman Orange. Any questions on the motion? Clerk Santos, roll call to adjourn.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Francisci? Yes. Vasquez?
Yes.
Garcia?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Monroe?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes, meeting adjourned.
Proceed.